Hey everybody, we're going to check out Comfy Cafe Prototype. This is a game I've not played before. We're going to give it a playtest, see if we can give some useful feedback. I've got the game page open here. This is an early prototype of my Comfy Cafe game. I don't think it reflects the name of the game yet, but I think it should be a lot closer next demo day. Alright, so we can expect something quite early. Nevertheless, we're going to give it a shot. I'm not seeing anything past this screen. It's currently in a windowed mode. I don't know if I can make it full screen. That would be preferred. VSync off would be preferred as well. Apply and save. Alright, so I think, right, so this is in borderless windowed mode for the full screen as opposed to exclusive full screen, which means that this isn't going to do anything, the VSync. At least not on Windows 7. I'm not sure if this is different on Windows 10. I know it works slightly differently, but so for me, this is still going to have VSync built in because it's not in exclusive full screen mode. Which I don't believe that this doesn't seem like an action first-person shooter type game or anything, so it shouldn't matter too much. I tend to want exclusive full screen with VSync off for a lot of games like this because you get a little bit less input lag. You can aim your cursor better, but just mentioning that we got sensitivity, that's good to have. I guess we'll put a name in here. Got controls, keyboard, gamepad even. Interesting. Alright, so we're in full screen. Let's just double check that we're recording okay. Yep. Join server, host server, options, exit, I guess. Alright, there's some text in the background here that's like, it's a little confusing because it kind of looks like it's not clear if it's supposed to be something I'm looking at or not. But that's not a big deal. It's a very small thing. I don't know about the server stuff. I guess we're meant to be able to have other people come in and play with us. Unfortunately, I didn't organize such a thing with anyone else, so I don't know how well this is going to work. There. Guess. Alright, Windows Firewall is requesting access. We'll give it access here. I'm in the lobby. I'm hoping I can do this without anyone joining. Alright, there's a lot of stuff on the screen here. We got a little test here. Player option stuff, which this is clearly placeholder. Placeholder. Whatever this is, I don't know. Server player limit too high. I don't know what that means. Waiting for hosts. More options. Okay, I guess that's just the options menu. Oh, unfortunately, I can't click start. Okay, so for some reason, I guess when I set the player limit to 4, it means I can't choose mode 1 because it's only for 1 to 2 users, I guess, which is interesting. Again, I don't really know what that means, but looks like I click start and now I have to click join. Is that the deal? Alright, well, so hopefully this will work out fine even without anyone else in here. Looks like we have a Pong machine. I can't crouch. I'd like to be able to crouch. I always like the feeling of being able to crouch in first person. Apparently I can see myself as a block being. A little blockhead, it looks like, by the shadow. But yeah, just interacting in like a first person world. Sometimes you kind of want to look at things that are a bit lower, and it just feels better if you can crouch and that kind of thing, even if it's not really gameplay relevant. Looks like we're going to have different rooms or such. Kind of feels like outside right now, which could be neat also if there were like different buildings, I guess. But the impression I'm getting is that this is like the very beginnings is something that doesn't really have much of the intended stuff, but you can kind of get the sense that maybe it's just a place to hang out for, you know, you can kind of hang out online, I guess, to network with different people and do simple things together and chat and that kind of thing. Maybe vaguely VR chat-like, I guess, be a way to describe it. Which, I mean, I've always kind of liked that kind of idea. I think maybe, especially if I was a bit younger and I just had a lot more free time, you know, in summer vacation and stuff, I would like to waste a lot of time in this kind of thing. Anyways, let's try to actually interact with something here. Type single press number 0 status none, owner none, server, press and hold, interaction lock. Okay, so if I hover over this, it has a little thing that says E interact. Unfortunately, it blends into this side. Oh. Wait a minute. Okay. So for one thing, my monitor is pretty bad at differentiating details in very bright spaces, so it's really hard to see anything that's white on white. But also, it's a little bit particularly, like, I guess you have to be relatively close to this for it to, for the little thing to pop up that you can interact with it. And given like the shape of this, where it kind of protrudes in the middle more, if I go to the sides, it just kind of disappears. I think this is maybe a little bit too, maybe it requires you to be slightly too close to it or something. Maybe if you're going to do this kind of thing, maybe use like a capsule or something so it doesn't have these weird protruding corners. I don't know. Probably doesn't matter that much. Pressing E doesn't appear to do anything that I can tell. Okay, so it's making the number go up. So yeah, this is as I expected. It's just kind of to test the interaction, apparently. This is a press and hold. Okay, there you go. So if I hold it, it goes to 1. And then interaction lock. Okay, so I pressed it, and I went into a different camera here. I can't move, and then I assume if I press it again, I'll go back. Alright, so interesting. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, fascinating. Okay. So I can... So I can use the WASD keys to move the little joystick here. Can I hit the buttons? Whoa, okay. I guess I pressed E again, which canceled the interaction, and then I pressed W, so I just walked forward. Whoa, okay, there's no collision. Okay, I thought there would be collision. There's no collision on anything. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so I would, you know, this is obviously very, very early, but I would add some kind of feedback for when you start interacting with this. Some kind of visual change. So that, for instance, like if I press E again, see, like you can hear me hitting the key, but you can't actually see anything on screen to indicate that anything has changed. With the exception of, obviously, if you're hovering directly, you can see the little text disappear or not, but if you're not hovering, then it doesn't do that. So yeah, that's very interesting. I'm curious if the buttons work. I'm assuming they don't do anything yet, but this just feels really cool. I mean, the fact that you can just walk up and play the Pong machine is cool, but I like the way that this is executed because it doesn't like arrest the camera, so you kind of stay in. I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of like in a role playing sense, where you kind of stay in your role of the person inside this room. You can still look around and everything, and then I really like how the joystick moves when you interact with the game. So it feels very... Oh, that there's not even any AI apparently. It's just if someone else is on the other side, I assume. Alright. But it feels very kind of immersive in that way. So yeah, that's really cool. And I like this concept. I don't think there's going to be like anything else that we can actually do in here to test. So we'll probably wrap this up, but I like the direction it's going. And yeah, I'm sure there's all sorts of really fun things that you can do with this kind of thing. But I'm also curious, like what specifically the developer has plans for. Obviously, a Pong machine is cool. Maybe it'll have other arcade cabinets. But with this kind of thing, it's like the sky's the limit, you know? Like how much different things you want to, interactive things you want to put in the world. And yeah, I do sort of wish there was, you know, someone else in the server that I could play the Pong machine with right now. One thing that's interesting is that as soon as you start interacting with this, of course, it takes away your movement controls. So if you do it kind of further away than you want to or something, that could make a difference maybe. I mean, it's easy enough to see the screen either way. But if like you just happen to hit it and you're like, oh, I kind of feel like I want to be a little closer, I guess you just press it again and make your adjustment while the ball's not coming at you or something. Just trying to find things to nitpick that it's probably fine the way it is, I guess. But let's go ahead and wrap this up. Very interesting game. I'm interested to see what the next version will be like. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next one.